July 12, 2015 in Mays Landing, New Jersey, 18 years old Tiffany Valiante assisted to a party organized by her uncle as a celebration for her cousin's graduation. Various friends and families assisted to the party, which took place in their house. That night, Tiffany's parents were called by one of her friends to leave the party and go to their house. There they met Tiffany and her friend, who had come in the friend's car. There was where Tiffany's friend accused her of using her credit card. According to an article I have read, she left with her parents, leaving Tiffany with hers when her mother found out that Tiffany truly had stolen from her friend. They had an argument and the girl left. No one saw Tiffany again until she was found torn to pieces over the train tracks. Some clothes that she had been testified to have been wearing were missing, and the security camera near her house had recorded her walking away. Near the scene, an axe with red marks was found, but was never analyzed because it got lost. More details about her death were given in a Unsolved Mysteries episode made by Netflix, but in my opinion the episode is mostly about proving it was not a suicide. But in my opinion some fatal mistakes when trying to come to a final resolution are committed, and that is why I want to correct them, and give a profile of the true author of this crime based on a deduction of my own. Firstly, some investigators deduced someone had taken her away in a car since someone she trusted had convinced her to get on. Close to the road the victim's shoes were found, and near them a ticket with information about a car that could be used as a keychain was found. The investigators deduced Tiffany had taken it. However, I suspect this ticket is actually a trap set by the killer, since if we pay attention to the photos of the evidence there is no split in the hole for the key ring that connects it to the key. But if Tiffany had truly teared off the ticket, there would be such split, since it is very unlikely that separated it from the key, or that the killer him or herself did it and left there a ticket with information about their car which could be used to identify them. So the information we can get from the ticket is very likely false and set by the killer to mislead a possible investigation. Another evidence that I think is meant to mislead is the fact that the sum of the clothes the victim had apparently wore that night were missing, and this has made a lot of people think this was a gender violence crime, but I do not think so. Why not? You see, there are two probably very important things that I have not commented until now. The first one is for what do I think Tiffany used her friend's credit card, since apparently she had bought a uniform for university. Since she was planning to go to university, she had bought herself, and she intended to go to an amusement park the next day, so she had probably pre-purchased tickets expenses that likely were paid with her friend's credit card. I do not want to show Tiffany's friend as the main suspect, but let me say that she was supposed to have left the place when Tiffany and her mother argued, so it would not have taken her too long to go back to pick her up. Also, it should not have been a great effort for her to kill Tiffany, since sometime after the murder, a man heard three of his employees talking about the event, and according to him, they talked about rumors according to which it was two female and a male who picked Tiffany up in a vehicle, taken her somewhere near the train tracks, stripped her naked, held her at gunpoint, and humiliated her. This seems to be a rumor that made from the theories spread by Tiffany's family and the private investigators. But what matters is the comment that she left with two females and a male. Taking as basis my theory, we know that one of those females would be her friend, the cards one, and the most likely thing would be that the other two are her father and her mother, since according to an article I have read, she was present when her daughter accused Tiffany of using her credit card, even though I am not sure about to what level that last detail is liable. So, the point is that if her friend killed her, she could have been physically helped by her parents, so it would not have been that difficult, and it would have been easy to take her to the train tracks. Still, There is a clue that the investigators are not sure if is connected to the murder, but in my opinion it is. This clue is a hoodie found near the victim's shoes. The evidence photo does not show the whole hoodie, but the word it has written on it can be completed to read Wilkes. I thought it looked like the university hoodie, and thought that was a curious detail since Tiffany was just about to start at university, and that maybe she had already bought a hoodie but she had forgotten it at the party, and the killer went to see her with the pretext of giving it back to her, or following my theory, she could have forgotten it at her friend's car. I searched in the internet Wilkes Maze Landing, and effectively the third result was this segment about the university's female volleyball team from the university's website, and Tiffany was a talented female volleyball player. But it turns out that was not the university Tiffany intended assisting, and it would be a too big coincidence if the hoodie was just there before. And I cannot think of many ways the killer could have gotten the hoodie, so it very likely belonged to the killer. Then the killer's profile would be a young or teenage woman, at least back in 2015, who was friends with Tiffany, and very likely met her after some female volleyball competition. Or maybe the killer did find the hoodie on sale on the internet, which I did not achieve. There may be some record of the competitions Tiffany played part into. Though its documentary series Unsolved, Netflix invites the viewer to try to help solve the case, sending them their deductions. Based on the news I have seen talking about his case, I have not seen any of them considering this theory, and that is the point that new does not exist, despite the fact a lot of people has come to this conclusion before me. How do I know this? When I searched Wilkes Maze Landing, the first result after the main website of the university was precisely the one about the female volleyball team, despite all the sports that have their own segment, very likely showing that this is the most visited segment of the website, which probably means that a lot of people has followed the same theory as me. But then, why has not there been the smallest progress in the investigation? That is where I deduce that the deductions we send to Netflix go nowhere. They are not checked or examined. That is why today I am doing this in video form. I do not know if I have achieved to get to some point. I hope I have, and I hope I have been able to help somehow.